everyone, my name's Jo and I love to read, but today I'm actually going to be talking about some personal health related goals that I would like to start achieving in this end of 2020, though I'm not sure when I'm posting this, so it may be the start of 2021 that I post it, but it's things that I want to start doing over the next couple of months of my life to a year because they are lifestyle health changes, and for me I'm a slow and steady kind of person, but they are just general health goals that I've been wanting to work on for a year, and I finally feel like next year I might have the motivation. I've also put in little steps along the way over the past however many years I've been thinking about these, probably for a long time, but like I said, slow and steady is the best for me, and I just wanted to kind of formalize or just do a video because I felt like talking about it and maybe it'll inspire other people, but I also feel like it will help me because I'll be able to look back and reflect on them via video form, and it'll help me to keep myself on track. I'm also wearing my cool little fun headband that I got for Christmas this year, so it's not Christmas yet. I'm filming this on the 22nd on a Tuesday, but I did an early Christmas with my side of the family because we're going up to see Daniel's side of the family in Canberra on Christmas Day, so I got to open some presents early, including this headband that I got from my mum because I don't want to cut my hair, but at work it's getting a bit long for what I kind of find easy to make respectable, and this is going to be something that I can easily chuck on in the morning. I can flick my hair back, I'm all ready to go, and it's out of my face, but it's also fun, and it's a work colour as well because it's blue. So without further ado, and that super long intro, let's get into it. First goal I want to talk about is related to my BMI, which is a body mass index. Based on your height and your weight, it tells you whether you're in a healthy range or not, but that's basically what I'm going to be looking at to determine what metric I want to reach, because I weighed myself the other day and looked at my BMI on my digital scales, and I actually worked out that I'm in the lower end of the overweight category, and this is something that I didn't really have an idea about. Like, I know I probably haven't been eating as healthy and not exercising as much as I should have been after I moved out, like, you know, the struggle of learning to cook for yourself all the time and then doing chores and everything. You just don't have enough time to prioritize these things, but I actually thought that I would still be in the healthy weight range towards the end probably, but I actually am in that overweight category, which is probably, if anybody in my personal life is going to be watching this, is probably a surprise for them because I don't look like I am an overweight. Like, I don't look overweight, but that's something that I really want to work on, getting down to a healthy range. It's something that I feel like I can achieve easily, and it's also like a body image slash just wanting to be healthy kind of goal that I really want to work on, because I have felt unhappy with the way that I have gained weight over the past couple of years since moving out. It's been like a lot hard. Like, I don't have my mum cooking me all these lovely meals all the time that have like a lot of veggies, and she's always would keep like the pantry and the cupboard stocked with really healthy fresh foods, and that's something that I really kind of struggled to do for Daniel and I, and him to do, you know, us to do for each other, because we generally shop together after we moved in. But also mum used to be really great at motivating me to go for walks in the afternoons. We would take walks together after work, and it was just a really fun way to do some activity. But particularly after Daniel and I moved in together, I would find that I would go to my desk job and then come home and sit on the couch, and that is not healthy at all. I am proud of myself over this past year that has gone by because I've really made an effort to actually go for a walk every lunch break. It's very rare that I don't actually go for a walk. I even tried to go for a walk so much that it was raining, and one of our ex-staff members that we happened to drive past was like, "Do you want a lift? Like, it's raining. What are you doing outside?" And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I did this on purpose. I did give up and walk back afterwards, but it's something that I'm really proud of myself, and it's also a really good mental health goal because it means that I get to step out, and especially after becoming manager, it is something that is really great because it gets me away from my people. People don't come, not just like, you know, my staff members in general, but other people in the company will just walk in and ask you a question, not necessarily knowing that you're on lunch. So it means that I get a big mental health break. I'm outside, I'm in the fresh air, I'm enjoying nature. I go to walk down to these wetlands. It's fantastic. So as well as keeping my waistline a bit slimmer, it also means that I get to take a big mental health break during the day, and I'm really proud about that. But I also want to work on, so if I'm looking at this particular goal in an exercise sort of thing, I only have 2 sort of small goals. I'm pretty happy with my exercise because I go for a walk every day at lunch for about 20 minutes, but I want to up that where I want to, on the weekend, I want to take Mr. Cooper, who's on the ground right now, annoyed that I'm not talking to him, but I want to take Mr. Cooper for a walk on one of the weekend days. So far I have really not done this consistently yet, but also during the week. That is when I struggle to prioritize exercise in the evening, because I get home and maybe I've gone to the supermarket to get food. I get home and put everything away, and if I want to go for a walk first before it gets dark, by the time that I get back, cook dinner on the days that I'm cooking dinner, and then eat it and everything like that, it's like 8:30 by this time, and my afternoon is just gone. So what I really want to do one day during the week, probably on a day that Daniel's cooking, is that I want to do some kind of yoga or Pilates exercise on YouTube in this room, because this is a pretty big room to be able to exercise in, and I want to do that. So that's going to be one. So those are my exercise and moving related goals. I'm kind of hoping that in the lead up to the wedding in March, I'm going to be doing some like muscle ones, so that I'm going to look like awesome and toned up, or just not like less flabby around the top in my dress, which at the back it's a halter neck, so the back is strapless, and I would really like to kind of lose some of the flab that's there, but you know, I still look amazing no matter what. And the other thing that I want to do, particularly that I'm focusing on, I would really like to eat a lot healthier, and I have been adding a lot more veggies to my repertoire than I was before. I kind of don't really want to tell my mum how much I wasn't eating veggies before, but they are back in full force, and I'm eating them with pretty much every dinner meal, which is fantastic. But my main issue, and I think what has really made things kind of spiral a bit for me, is chocolate. Oh my god, I am in love with chocolate. And one of my employees said to me, we were talking about like weight loss goals and things like that, and she sort of, because I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm addicted to chocolate, but the thing is, when it's not in the house then I'm fine, but if it's there then I want to eat it, and then all of a sudden it's like my body remembers, and she's like, you're a habit eater, like you're not an addicted person because you don't think about it every second of the day, but when you see it you want it, it's a habit. So I'm trying to break that habit at the moment, and my goal is not to buy any chocolate for myself. So I don't want to be the person that, you know, for instance at Christmas I've been gifted chocolate. I don't want to then turn around and be like, oh, well, I'm not going to eat this, because it does bring me joy to some extent to eat chocolate because it tastes nice, but I don't have that limit on myself, because if I buy it for myself, then I'll just eat like the whole block, because I'm like, well, it's mine, I've spent money on it, I don't have to like share with anybody else. So what I want to do is just not buy it for myself. So if Daniel bought a block of chocolate and sort of says to me, do you want a piece? Then I'll have a piece, but I'm not going to eat the block because it's his. And then if someone buys me chocolate for my birthday or Christmas, that's fine, I can enjoy that, but I just don't want to buy it for myself, because I found even in my efforts sort of in the second half of this year to try and limit myself, I'd be like, okay, I'm only going to buy myself like a little bar when I go to the supermarket. But then I'd be going to the supermarket or going to the petrol station like multiple times during the week, and I was still buying it. And then I would like buy like a fudge recipe and like make the fudge and then eat it. Like it's just something that I really have to make an effort to limit myself and to get some self-control back. And I've been doing this consistently over like the last week. And I actually started thinking about, Joe, you've had a book buying habit before that you've joked that was kind of an addiction but was more just a habit. How did you beat that? Well, that took a while and a few different methods, but the one that actually got me enough distance away from the habit that enabled me to get some self-control was making a deal with Daniel, going, please don't let me buy a book before X month, and if I buy the book, a new book, then you get to take any book off my shelf and throw it away or whatever. So making that deal with him really helped me to remember what I was doing and to give me the self-control. So I did the same with the chocolate. I shook on it. I like shaking on things if we're making a deal, and I said, please don't let me buy any chocolate. Like, I can't buy chocolate for myself. If you've bought yourself chocolate and you decide you want to share a piece with me, that is fine, but I'm not allowed to buy it myself. And it's not like he's gonna be following me to the supermarket or anything like that. It's just a mental thing that because I respect him so much and I respect the things that I say to him, then it just kind of gives me the self-control that I can kind of go, no, like, you made this deal, and it helps remind me what I want as well. And then the last goal that I want to do for now is more of a mental health focused one. So I can be quite an anxious person, and this year, in some ways, my anxiety has gotten better, but in some ways it's also spiraled and gotten worse. And something that really calms me is actually listening to meditation and doing meditation. And the way that I've worked this habit into my daily life has been pretty good. I'll generally meditate in the morning if I give myself enough time, and I'm generally pretty good now at seeing that it is a worthy enough habit to give it enough time. But I really want to work on giving myself time on the weekend. So same as with the walking my dog, I also want to meditate one day on the weekend, because I find during the week I'm really sweet, because as well as meditating in the morning, I actually have a half an hour car ride to myself where I talk to myself and let everything out that I'm feeling, and that is really helpful and therapeutic. But I find come Monday, because I've had the whole weekend to myself without doing this and also generally without meditating, I'm dying for that car ride on Monday to just let it all out and to give my brain a break, which is not super healthy. And I would really like to, on the weekend, to continue to do this meditation habit, because I think it is just really helpful. It keeps up the practice and it keeps my mind calm. Like, it is so... In the past, I would say that my anxiety has been either two things. So it's been an argument with myself that has been like really loud and really hard to listen to the calmer side of me, or my anxiety has just been pulling me out the door and throwing me into whatever it feels and not giving me a chance. Whereas now, because of the meditation, I feel like it's more of a conversation with myself, and I'm actually really quite able to reason. And so it's not like the anxiety conversation doesn't always go away, but it's a lot softer, it's a lot quieter, and sometimes it does, and quite often that's because I'm able to reason with it. So that is my third goal, that I would really like to meditate one day on the weekend to keep up the habit, and just to make it like a health thing, like a, you know, you have to eat thing, or when I prioritize having naps, like just things like this that my body needs. I suppose it'd probably also be appropriate to say that I got my blood test results back as well. If you didn't watch my personal day in the life vlog, or day in my holiday life, I'll link it up above. I got a blood test done to see if I've got low iron levels, because I get restless legs, and I'm also kind of a sleepy person, which could be related to my iron levels. I got my test back and I actually do have low iron stores. My doctor has told me to take an FGF supplement for a month and to see how that goes and gets retested. So I'm really excited to see how that goes, not only for the restless legs, but also to see whether it's able to pick up my energy levels, or just not someone who, like, I don't know, man, like I just feel so hazy in the afternoon sometimes, and I'm really hoping that it's something that is going to help me get a little bit more energy during the day. I'm sure my fatigue levels are not as severe as somebody else's, that, you know, I don't have chronic fatigue or anything like that, but it kind of feels like, just based on feedback from people like around me in my life, that I have to sleep more than normal, which is just sort of something that appears to run in my family. But then it's something that my grandpa always, same thing, needed a lot of sleep, and then he got restless legs a lot, and it was because his iron levels were low as well. So maybe that's why it runs in my family, because we all have less iron than we should. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm also an OB positive for my blood type, which I've never known before. It's apparently the most common. But thanks everybody so much for listening to my personal goals. I'm looking forward to doing a wrap up same time at the end of next year. Oh my gosh, what are your personal goals? Let me know in the comments below, and I'm really looking forward to doing all the bookish goals as well. Thanks so much everyone. Bye.